Rocky, do you believe that America is the land of opportunity?
Yeah.
Apollo Creed does. And he's gonna prove it to the whole world by giving an unknown a shot at the title. And that unknown is you.
I love this scene because I think it teaches two very valuable lessons. Number one, never trust a man who wears a carnation on his lapel. Number two, moments happen to us. Call it what you want, luck, opportunity, whatever. You may only get one in your lifetime, but they happen. The ones who go far are the ones who recognize them when they happen. The ones who go really far are the ones who bust their ass to make it count. When you think art, you're not likely to think Rocky. And I'm not talking about a nuanced discussion of where film belongs in the recorded histories of fine art, the whole ethos and pathos of it all. I'm talking about all those little nods to two-dimensional creative expression in the art-only cinemas I've mentioned so far. But Stallone is actually a big art fan, and if you pay attention, you'll notice little references throughout the entire film series. Rocky V, in fact, has my favorite. This is the first film in the franchise to actually acknowledge the fact that the infamous Rocky steps lead to the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Rocky's son Robert points this out to Rocky at the end of the movie. Apparently, all those times Rocky ran up the steps, he was never motivated to find out where they lead to.
I've been running up and down these steps for 20 years, and I never knew there was valuable pictures in this building, you know?
Robert appears to be taking Rocky into the museum for the first time, and to this he says,
"You're gonna love Picasso."
Oh yeah, well I love almost everybody.
This line of dialogue was clearly written for that punchline. One of the most endearing things about Rocky is his lovable long-headedness, but this line makes me cringe. It's another art movie reference that is condescendingly vague if you think about it. Ignoring the fact that Picasso is the go-to handjob for great artists, according to the website for the Philadelphia Museum of Art, there are 289 works attributed to Picasso in that collection. Which Picasso were you referring to, Robert? Or should we just walk in the door and go, we're here to see the Picasso? In Robert's defense, there really wasn't an internet for him to look this up in 1990. Throughout the movie, Robert shows an interest in art, and in one scene as Rocky is poking around his room, he comes across a drawing Robert has done of his French teacher. This highlights one of the truly underrated advantages of being a young artist in a pre-internet age. Making your own porn. I tease the little bastard, but I liked Robert's character. Even if they did abandon it completely when they brought Robert back for the sixth film in the franchise, Rocky Balboa, he went corporate, which was a hard left turn for me. But I liked that a major character in this franchise was interested in art. I thought it fit. Appreciating art and creating art is an equal opportunity interest, regardless of socioeconomic status. Kinda like boxing. The opening scene of the entire series shows boxing at the pinnacle of its unglamorousness. A dingy, rank, underground hole with two dingy, rank, underground nothings beating each other to a pulp for the amusement of a crowd of dingy, rank, underground drunks. These joints existed for a long time in industrialized cities with a ton of working class people, and probably still do. At the very beginning of the 20th century, though, they were illegal. Sort of. There were bullshit loopholes in the law, like fights could be sanctioned only in private clubs, so bam, the back room of Sharky's this Friday night is gonna be a club. Knuckles and Stitch, you're members. American artists at this time were really interested in showing what daily life looked like for the underclass. I guess nothing sells like poor people. And this backroom boxing culture was a popular subject. It was emotionally visceral, it was energetic, it took the viewer to a dangerous place. Artists like Thomas Eakins, Fletcher Martin, and especially George Bellows did very well in capturing this world and all its dirty romance. And this is obviously the vibe that the filmmakers were zeroing in on in the first scene of Rocky. By the 1920s, because of sheer public interest and popularity, prizefighting was very legal and very profitable. On September 14th, 1923, 80,000 people paid to see the world heavyweight title fight between champion Jack Dempsey and challenger Luis Angel Firpo, El Toro de las Pampas. You have to remember that boxing at this time was, shall we say, less concerned with finesse. This is 250-pound battering rams throwing three-step haymakers at each other. There was no three knockdown rule. Hell, once dropped, the opposing fighter didn't even have to go to a neutral corner, meaning they could just stand over you and drop you again as soon as you tried to get up. Dempsey sat Firpo on his ass 7 times in that opening round, but the most memorable moment of the fight belongs to the bull. Near the end of the round, Firpo drills Dempsey on his griddle with a hard right, knocking him through the ropes. One of the guys that Dempsey lands on is an artist who's there to do an illustration of the fight for the New York Evening World. That artist? George Bellows. And inspired by this moment, creates not only the last boxing painting he will ever do, but one of the most famous images in American art. Dark smoky atmosphere, purple shorts, brown gloves, one guy knocking another into oblivion. Where have I seen that before?
My French teacher.
Really? Yeah, she looks French, sure.